September 23rd and not September 20th. What am I doing, you idiot? Ah! Well, anywho, we're checking out March of the Ants. And before we get into March of the Ants, because I am apparently woefully unprepared to cover it today, I want to mention that the title of this says shame. And it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with me, because I just want to admit right out there, I got a review copy of March of the Ants way, way, way back when, and I wanted to play it. I never got to it. And that I've done that to a lot of games, unfortunately. It's bad. So shame on me. But either way, I'm still here. I got the copy. It's right there. I can see it. One of these days I'm going to play it. Hopefully make content on it. But I'm excited to make content on, what is this, the 13th? It goes 3, 6, 9, 12, 15th, 18th, 19th, excuse me. Most popular game on all of Kickstarter tabletop games right now. That is March of the Ants from Tim Eisner. Now, first thing is, man, main image, very, very generic. Like, player link, time count, age, price, mechanisms, components, something here. Like, it's just, hey, this is a box. Here's a box. That's all I get. Now, I do like the fact, actually, I don't even like the fact. So, this is a reimagining, a redoing, re-whatever. And I do apologize, by the way. Yeah, I already did. Of the original March of the Ants. So to just call it the ultimate ant civilization game, I feel like is doing a little bit of disservice, because that just sounds like the subtitle to the game. But in actuality, I do believe this is more along the lines of a second edition, which telling me that something is a second edition immediately answers one of the 3 big questions you need to answer for people, which is, can you do it? Can you make this game? And by telling me something's a second edition was so good, now we're putting out, the improved edition. It's just the main image just, man, it's weak. It's weak. It's very weak. It's the game title. It could be so much more. Expand your colony, evolve your ants to this fast-paced playing 4X nature civilization game. Everybody's all about that 4X fast-paced playing game since what was it Last Light. Good for Roy. Roy's awesome. Roy's a super nice guy. Yeah. So either way, this is 1975% funded. It is massively overfunded. Love to know more. Player like, time count, age. But now I know it's a 4X game. It plays fast. Let's go. As always with the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Wowzers, $197,000. That is fantastic. This thing is crushing right now. Let's go.
As spring dawns, the great thaw begins. Deep beneath the lush meadow grass.
I hear this. I understand this. But I'm a native English speaker. I feel like subtitles always a good idea, especially anytime you're not, like, just completely 100% clear. Now, I personally can understand and hear everything, but I think subtitles would be nicer. And once again, that's one of those nice things about GameFound, is because you're just putting a YouTube video there. You know, you can just automatically boop. It's a little thing.
The queen stirs in her nest, and the colony comes to life. The first larvae hatch, and it is clear this generation will be different. The young colonies rapidly evolve into a multitude of new forms.
That shot right there is it, because that shot showcases, hey, here's the gist. This is my ant. It is 3 cards, and each of these 3 cards will not only look different, but they'll have different symbols, symbology, but asymmetric special abilities. So each ant is going to be, like, that's really cool. Like, that was a great way to showcase that. And honestly, a way better way to showcase it than I think than just the main thing, honestly. Like that. I'm just thinking of what could potentially be on the main image that would be better than just the box. And, like, maybe it is components, because that looks cool. Looks like clean graphic design.
Is rapidly evolve into a multitude of new forms, and each nest marches out.
Look at the angle they did that to show you the thickness of that tile. Very nice.
To claim the meadow as its own.
Great battle, a great tunnel, lots of text on here. Looks good. Looks good. Looks clean. Nice graphic design. I like it. Good showcasing.
March of the Ants, Evolved Edition, designed by Tim Eisner and Ryan Swisher, is an updated, remastered.
Look at that. Look at those player reference cards right there. Those look like beasts. Those look nice.
Version of the classic 4X and...
See, March, the Evolved Edition. Like, why are we... I feel like we should lean into that, right? Like, I feel like, because that's letting me know that, like, oh, okay, this was already a great game. And I'm sure you're going to hopefully tell me how great the original game was on Board Game Geek. I don't know why I fancying it that the way I did, but like spotlighted, hopefully. Let's go.
Game. It features revised gameplay, a new art and graphic design, enhancing the deeply
Showcasing the nice components. Yeah, that does look nice.
thematic civilization building experience that plays in 60 to 90 minutes. You are an ant queen, guiding your burgeoning colony to victory. Will you focus energy on exploring the meadow in search of resources needed to grow? Or will you dedicate your time to evolving new abilities to adapt to ever-changing threats and opportunities? Will you engage competing colonies in battle, seeking to claim the land for yourself? Or will you establish peaceful, symbiotic relationships and share the spoils? All of this must be done while carefully managing the resources.
Once again, it's all about the angles. I want you to look at this angle. Are we trying to show off our lid and finish here? Are we trying to show off like that nice? Oh yeah, you can feel what this feels like just by looking at it, because they went at this very specific angle. It's great showcasing the components.
All of this must be done while carefully managing the resources in your underground nest. The meadow, a shared board created through exploration, makes each game distinct.
Another little thing. I know that is a removable tile. Like they made it so that I could tell that was something that's also going to be asymmetric every game. That like, oh, that is going to be replaced. It might be different next game. Love it. Good stuff.
By combining the various evolutions, you can craft over 1,000 new ant species with unique abilities.
Awesome.
Asymmetrical ancient species, many paths to victory, and dangerous and valuable beyond the meadow hexes add even more replayability. Your ant civilization awaits the orders of its queen. The future of the colony is in your hands.
Great video. I'm in. I want it. Looks good. Looks fun. Didn't take too long. Less than 2 minutes. Do I want it after the video? Yes. Can you do it? Yeah, this is the better version of the old game. You took that, you polished, made that clear. I already knew you did the old thing. Now I know it's a new thing. Can you do it? Yes. Then how much is it? I don't know. But I imagine it's not insanely expensive, right? I can't imagine I'm paying that much. Like, I know it's deluxeified components, and they look very, very good, but I can't imagine them in like the $150 range. So I'm guessing 80 to 120, somewhere in there. Of course, that's before we get to the playmat and all the other fancy shinmancy-dancy that we'll probably get to. So, Tim Nizer has been designing board games for the last 10 years. His design credits include Wonderland's Wars, Canopy, Tidal Blades, Leaf, March of the Ants, Grim Forest, Aquacord Cove, and more. Game design is my main work, hobby, and passion. As a game designer, Tim draws on skills he learned in previous, so it looks good. Impressive stuff. Ooh, Jalop, you're gross. 8 created, 152 back, so we do have one collaborator here. So Canopy, Evergreen, Leaf, March of the Ants, Empire of the Earth. Let's make sure people got their stuff from the last few. Canopy, did it come out? Canopy. Quick note regarding the backer kit survey. The shipping fees will default to the highest possible cost that was left a month ago. I only have 13 wildlife tokens, not the 15 mentioned in the rule booklet 6 days ago. Will stretch goals, extra cards, and such that are being added to the retail edition also be available in the retail edition in stores. Shipping option does not work. I will open that. So it looks like they're doing some customer service. Just got to pop in there and deal with Angelina. Sounded weird, but yeah. Okay, but people got their stuff. And Leaf, I've seen this one in the wild. I know that one is out and exists, so I don't need to check on it, but I will to make sure that, wasn't terrible in here. For replacements of missing or damaged parts, I've sent a couple emails. Mine's still missing, no tracking. Hi, Mike. We just sent you an email. The email address we have on file. We'll see what happened here. Loving your game. Cool. Great stuff. And that's the one to do right there. If we want to talk about how you're supposed to use pins after the fact, this feels like this is it. This is it. Congratulations, Tim. I'm going to mention what you're doing right here in future videos, because we talk about pinning comments and how sometimes pinning comments is weird because if you don't unpin stuff, it's I feel like this is the play. Like, hey, you get to a certain point, you're like, email us here if you're missing pieces. So immediately if someone complains that they're like, well, did you email us? Or you say, well, it's good. It's good stuff. Like that a lot. I think it's a great idea. And then Canopy, is this one out? I wish there were more seeds. Never got my game. Hi, Mark. So sorry to hear that. Please context. Just sat down and played through the first time. Pretty fun game. I haven't received my copy. Cool. So, yeah, great. Katie, do it? Yes. And I wasn't too worried about that. So, do I want it? Yes. Katie, do it? Yes. And how much is it? Hopefully, we won't beat around the bush. We get to the price. 69 of it. Wow. Yeah. I 100% would put that on the marquee somewhere. 1 to 5 players, 60 to 90 minutes. That's a sweet spot right there. You go solo. You go up to 5 players. Bingo. Cole Worley. Getting quotes. I think I've seen 3 from him. Solid, I guess. But I mean, people love Root. People love Root. My boss loved Root. March of the Ants is one of the most underrated 4X designs out there and somehow manages to distill the best parts of the genre without any of the baggage. It's a feisty design that beautifully evokes its setting. That was a pretty beautiful quote. One of the most underrated 4X designs out there and somehow manages to distill the best part of the genre without any of the baggage. Cool. That's fine. Epic 4X gameplay, it's fine, and it's from a name that's gonna, like, that knows games. Like, he designed a couple, actually, people love. With the gameplay of Epic Civilization, building games with streamlined, elegant package, March of the Ants delivers a deep and rewarding 4X play experience in 90 minutes. Okay, so now we're going into what you do in the game. Oh, what's new? What is it? New artwork and graphic design, cool, updated cards and hexes, rebalanced mechanics and streamlined rules, nice resting tile that grants bonus resources, great tunnel battles, give combat and tactics a place to shine, wooden ant meeples add a tactile element to your strategic maneuvers. So that's nice. A beautifully remastered version of a really clever and streamlined 4X game. Yeah. Inside the box. So I wish I had the price right there, which was just like, bam, right there. Hit me with it. 5 nest mats, 180 ant meeples. Yeah, because if it's a decent price, as soon as you show me 180 ant meeples, I feel like I'm in. 66 unique ant cards, which once again you did a great job showcasing to me and letting me know there's over 1,000 ways they could be mushed together, and that excites me. 22 event cards, awesome. 11 colony gold cards, 22 the hexes, 5. I just want the price. Just want the price. Ooh. I'd love if anything. I'd love it to be zoomed in just a bit more too. That'd be nice. But then again, I mean, I'd always love to be zoomed in. Wouldn't it be nice to read this? Easy to follow rules, plainly laid out. Beautiful. It looks like it. Looks like it. Rule booklet. Hopefully, I'll be able to read that somewhere else. And so I don't know the price. You didn't tell me. Fine. I'll go over here. If I'm on iOS or mobile, you're making me make an extra click. Hopefully, I'm not out in the country. All right. So now we have the deluxe edition with a different box in the back. Different back box, which you won't see because most likely it will not. It'll be on shelf. So whatever. I mean, unless I'm always about that with like deluxe boxes. It's like unless you're deluxifying like the side of it, like really deluxifying the crap out of the side of it. It's like and what does it come with different? So 5 deluxe punch board desk mats. So instead of paper, they're punch board, and 30 the tokens. Ooh, that's really interesting. That doesn't feel like a it doesn't feel like it has as much as I thought it would, you know? And then we have the expansion, so I do want this. Oh, okay, cool. So what's included in the deluxe box? Okay. Ick. They're doing that thing where they're making you buy the deluxe edition to get all the gameplay, so there's no gameplay all in. Icky. 1/3 of a point grade bump down. That's anti-consumer. I know why. Because you want to make a bunch of these. And I get it. But it still sucks. Major workers. Powerful major workers. 10 meeples. Yeah, everybody's obviously going to want this, right? Predators. 5 predator cards. 5 predator meeples. Look at those. 33 new ant cards. Bringing us up to, nearly 100. 10 nest chambers. Yeah, I don't care. I already want it. I just wish you didn't waste my time. Just hit me with the price. My wallet's here. It's open. It's open. Just open it. Take the money out. Previews. So we got a John Gets game, so a longer how to play. We got a 30-minute how to play. Okay. We got preview. Cool. So you got the videos you need.
No.
Preview. So we got, oh wow, see, this is what I'm saying. So why do we do this? I don't understand this. And I see this way too often. Why don't we just smush the prices and the components together? And it's not my wild and crazy amazing idea. It's the majority of Kickstarter. It is Kickstarter industry standard at this point, and it still boggles my mind when people do this. Just rip the Band-Aid off, because that's a great price, honestly. Here, here's the thing. I go back to that main image because you're clearly just like, all right, March of the Ants. We're just going to go based off of our name, of our pedigree, of people being excited for this, and people that we're bringing in, right? But I feel like just mentioning $49, that's a great price. And then $65 for the deluxe. Come on. Yeah, hit me with that about 5 minutes ago. Hit me with that as soon as I get done with that video. Like, right from the jump. $49 for what is one of the highest rated games of all time. Maybe. I don't know. Not that you really did a great job spotlighting that. Yet. Let's go yet. But I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to be annoyed the further we go, and the less I don't feel like you're stressing who you are. And I said the same thing about Spooktacular last week. And it's like, if you have a great designer pedigree or a great company pedigree, you spotlight that, right? Because if you're a publisher, you say, yeah, look at my track record, right? I don't design these games, but look at the games I pick out. They're winners, banger after banger after banger. And if you're a designer, why not do the same thing if you have a track record? All right, so now we have the Immortal Ant. What is this? Pledge this level and we'll use your last names as inspiration in the scientific name of one of the ant evolution cards. Okay. Okay, it's fine. If I love the game, it's fine. If I love the game, it's fine. Totally fine. It doesn't feel great, but it's fine. Retailer pledge, cool, and it is. It's a nice, easy way to put someone into the game, and that's a chunk, $135. Let's check out the pledges. I'm curious. Bowers Law, most definitely not broken here. This one crushed. This one I think absolutely dominated because once again, it's only a $16 price jump on what already is a very reasonably priced game. It feels good. The price feels good. I feel like we got to shout it out loud more. Kiss it, baby. If you don't understand what that meant, that's actually a reference to the band Kiss, who have a song called Shout It Out Loud, and not some sort of weird thing that I just said. All right, so 68, yeah, so that Bowers Law is most definitely standing here. 8, and nobody's buying the $49, and then 2,642. So what do I say? Bowers Law is normally that the standard version should get outsold by the deluxe version 7 to 10 times. They're absolutely smashing that. But once again, like, it's not hard. It's a $16 price jump, so it totally is. And once again, it's because you're locking a lot of content that people 100% want behind it. And also, it's just $65. That's $5 more than MSRP for Deluxeified. Even though the Deluxeified feels like there's not much, and I wonder if that's when we're going to have stretch goals, which are once again buried down here. Why do we do this? God, I hate you, Jalop. I hate your guts, Jalop. Stay in tech. Stay everywhere else except for tabletop games, Jalop. Tiny Titans mini expansions. Because once again, stretch goals. Why have I not heard about those? If there are, unless it's like this is just a spot where like we believe that blah blah blah, we're not doing stretch goals, that sort of thing. Which I don't think is the case because you quite clearly have a very bare bones Deluxeified version, right? Like when you look at just the deluxe, it's like, oh, it's just 2 things. So I'm wondering what they're going to add. I hope there's expansions. I hope there's stretch goals because that's just exciting. So the Tiny Titans mini expansion for March of the Ants featuring this. This mini expansion was included as a reward in some pre-launch promotional offers from Weird City Games. This is beautiful, right? I loathe this. I'm going to go 1/3 of a point grade bump up because I love this so much because I complain all the time about when you get to the add-ons and you find an add-on, you're like, well, what the hell is this thing? Like, why isn't this? I'm buying the $270 version. Why the hell aren't these 4 cards in it? Oh, because you didn't join the mailing list. But it's like they got ahead of that. They're like, oh, hey, here's what these cards are. They're only $3. It was the thing. So yeah, I feel like this is exactly how you handle this. Kudos. Very nice, because tons of companies don't. And all you gotta do, just the extra, just like, boom, just extra 3 sentences. It's not even a fancy graphic. Just, hey, here's what this is. Canopy's Rainforest growing game for 2 players. So yeah, we're going to sell you our old stuff. Great. Always think this is a good idea, because it means you're going to make extra money, you're going to be selling your back inventory, and it's going to make your numbers just look bigger when people back your Kickstarter. You know, like, it just look more impressive. Leaf, I know a lot of people like this one. Leaf Deluxe, $70 seems like a very reasonable price. I imagine a lot of people are going to be purchasing that as well. Yeah, $270 just in there for presumably buying some extras. Cool. March the Answers place Eclipse for my gaming group. That's a big one. Ooh, designer of Zaya. I love Zaya. Legends of a Drift System, by the way. Even though they cut off the last part, you know. Just say, whatever. Returning back, yeah, well, you know. And then, wow, 42 on the retailer pledge level. That's crushing it. That's very good. Good for them. That's fantastic. And the Immortal Ant, 16. Not bad. You sold it. That's a, so what is that? That's a big chunk. That's $13.50. That's what, like I said, 21, 2,200 bucks. It's nice. 22 extra bucks. 2,200 bucks to put some extra cards in. So we do have stretch goals. No. Put this higher. I always say this. When you launch a Kickstarter, what is your goal? Your goal is to get funded. Once you get funded, what's your goal? It's not to get funded. You already funded. It's to hit stretch goals and make this amazing box something that more people are going to buy, and you're going to do a bigger print run, and then you're going to have this amazing freaking box, and people are like, wow, how this is such a great value. We've all seen those Kickstarters where you're like, wow, this game, like, this was $78? You're like, yeah, this is $78 because we had like a boatload of stretch goals. Also because it shipped 6.5 years late. But so a March of the Ants tradition, backers choose a new ant species. So yeah, once again, and then here's another thing about why we put this higher. You put this way higher. I see this way earlier, and I say, oh, there's cool. We're voting on stuff. I'm in. Maybe not everybody does that. Most people don't do that, but the people who might do that are much more likely to do that if you mentioned it right from the jump, right? Also, it makes your price easier to stomach. Not that that's a problem, because your price is already really freaking good. Like, it is. 49 bucks. Like, in and out the door. Despite the fact, I feel like you're really doing a crap job of spotlighting you. All cards will be upgraded to a lovelier, thick, certified stock for even better shuffling during. So that's a fantastic. That's a banger. That's a banger that we hit. Yet I wasn't notified about that in either of your weird areas that clearly should have been combined together, where one was components and one was the pledges. Like, come on, just mush them together, put this in front of it, put some unlock symbols on the cards to say, oh yeah, by the way, these cards, now they're nicer card quality. And then we have, at the fringes of the meadow lies mysterious and dangerous environs. What will the new hex reveal? So we got a new hex. Was that mentioned in the pledge levels? I don't think so. Like, so... Stretch goals. Yeah, like, tease me with them a little bit earlier. New chest chambers. Great tunnel rewards. Linen, like, we're hitting a bunch of stretch goals. These are exciting. Screen printed centipedes. Heck yeah. Okay, I want to see what the next one is. I'm not even backing this. I want to see what it is. So that's why I like, put it higher. It's exciting. How to play? Yeah, cool. Good. This is all good stuff to have. And shipping. So we got standard, deluxe, extra game. Great. Answering a question that a lot of people are going to have right from the jump. Beautiful. So let's see. What am I? Zone 2? So look at 21. So what was it? 63, 67 for the base game. Ian? Yeah, let's just go do this because you didn't do it at all. March of the Ants, 22-13. So when you're in like the top, I'd say 3,000 to 4,000. That means you are much, much more hits than misses. Just to put this into perspective, there is roughly, I think, like 17,000 board games roughly rated on Board Game Geek. It might actually be more than that. And you have to have a certain amount of people who have played the game in order to even get rated. So to say that it's, it's a 2,200 game of all time, nearly top 1,000 strategy game of all time, but we've come back, we've refined it, we've perfected it, we've essentially, because it feels like they've smushed together, some of the expansion stuff in there. Not like getting some of the quotes from back then as well, but they do have some solid quotes, so I don't want to dog on that. They win any awards? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why. Let me see. Let me look at yeah. Let's see what the pedigree is. Yeah, 145. I guess he did mention them. So here's the thing. He did mention them, but I feel like you can put some more weight when you start putting some award nominations and some numbers and stuff like that. Because just mentioning that, yeah, I designed 3 games, that doesn't mean diddly squat. Take it from someone who works with game designers all the time. Like, I get emails from people who are like, yeah, I've designed 6 games. And I'm like, whoa, okay, this seems like a really exciting, serious customer. Like, okay, then I go check out their catalog. It's like, oh, okay. This is your first game, though, because none of the other ones got published. It's like, cool, it's cool, but it's like, there's levels to this. And you have a level there, right? Like, you consistently put out bangers. Like, look at that. Like, that is a level of consistency. 145, like, that's huge. 1008, 1040, 1075, 2233, 2838, 3018. And then it goes down, but like those are bangers. And I guess you did mention them. I guess I I feel like a graphic. I feel like a graphic would have been nice with just a little bit more love for the creations potentially. Not a huge deal or anything. It's not as bad as the one from last week with Spooktacular, where he had like 2 or 3 games in like the top 1,000. Like, it's like, wow, dude, like you gotta mention that. Because he didn't even like mention his games at all. All right, so FAQ updates, comments, give this one a grade. Only 8, so whatevs. Do you offer group discounts? Are these exclusive to Kickstarter? Okay, it's fine. Updates, hello, Marcher. We have 11 days left, so we have 1 comment. No one cared, but that's from today, so I shouldn't say no one cared. It might just be brand spanking new. 3 comments. That one, no one did. So this is not a great update. None of these are, because no one engaged with you. No one said anything. Like, you just talked to a room full of 3,062 people. Now, granted, if we go back to September 13th, there wasn't 3,062 people in here. There was only, 146. There was still like 2,000 plus people here, and you've spoken to these 2,000 plus people, now over 3,000 people, 3 times, and they have had a grand total of 7 comments. Granted, I'm going to guess one of these is probably you responding to them. That means your update game is weak. You need to get in here and figure out just ask questions. And what I mean by weak is it's not stimulating the Kickstarter algorithm. Like, it doesn't look like Kickstarter's super brain computer that this is a popular project, because nobody's talking. Like, you don't come into an update and see 2 comments and say, oh, I better check that. I gotta go check that one out. Like, you might still, because you're excited about the update, but if you see it wow, there's 673 comments here, or 50 or 60, anything, and all you gotta do is just ask questions. So let's see, the most engaging comment is here, 3 and 40, so let's see what it was. Wow, what an amazing first few days. Nearly 2,000 people. March to the Ants Evolve editions on Tabletop Simulator. I would put that on the campaign page. Like, for real. Like, why is, don't bury it here. That's great. Especially if you're not an old fogey like me. Like, that's something you pound your chest about and say, oh, yeah, you can play it. Most people probably don't, but it makes it more real. Did we get a rule booklet as well? I'd like a rule booklet. That's annoying. Yeah, 1/3 of a point crate bumped down for not having a rule booklet. I know you can look at the old rule booklet, but this is a different game, right? It's the Evolved Edition. So not having a rule booklet, that's kind of annoying. With such a strong start, we have to cruise through our first 5 stretch goals, upgrading game components, unlocking extra content. First up is the backers design thing. Cool stuff. Talking about the stretch goals, neat. Visit Kicktrack, thumb on Board Game Geek, spread the word. Leaf cutter for me. So they did. Oh, did they ask a question? To visit, just hit the heart button. Then if you can thumb this image, that would be fantastic. So did they ask a question? Let's see. I'm just looking for a question mark anywhere. Because people are answering. Want to help our campaign grow? Early momentum is essential to keeping this Kickstarter growing. We really appreciate your support. Yeah. So what are these people answering then? Look forward to new Ants. My vote's below. So people, there was a vote. Okay. Well then, apparently people voting, you didn't get a huge turnout here. If there was a vote, this is that's bad, and I think that really makes me analyze what I say of just ask a question to maybe it's ask a question, but make sure it is known without me having to actually look at your update. Just when I'm browsing through my email, let me know that there's a question in there, right? Because yours is let's make ants. Okay. Neat. With such a, let's see. So here it is. So it is a contest. We've received many great suggestions from backers in the Kickstarter comments, and now it's time to vote on which ones we vote in the game. We will set up a poll on Board Game Geek. Oh, okay. That's how they're doing it. So they're setting up the vote on Board Game Geek. So let's see how that plays working out, right? So essentially they've decided instead of putting that valuable chunk of people spending time, energy on Kickstarter, we think it's more valuable for that people to spend their time and energy on Board Game Geek because we want to get on the BGG hotness list. That's pretty much what this play is saying. I'm not saying that's a bad play. I love it. I'm excited to see it. Is this number 2? What is it? I'm going to guess 6. Number 6. I'm guessing 6. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, we're not 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, we can I suppose the counting is unnecessary at this point. I imagine most of you know numbers. So it does not look like it's in the... Wow, it's not the BGG hotness at all in the top 50? That's wild. Frickin' Arnak? Nucleum? Come on. That's okay. Really? Did I just miss it? I feel like I had to have missed it. Okay. So it looks like that play... well, now I want to see where the link is. Okay, so let's see where this poll is. So how much engagement did it get? So it... Oh, my fudge! That got a fudge load of votes. 204. So there is a huge... Okay. Okay. And once again, I feel like that's because a lot of people really like March of the Ants, right? And they played it. It's like, this is such a cool idea, such a cool design. Good for them. And so yeah, play to it. I'm surprised that's not higher on the BGG hotness list, but that's great numbers on that vote. 200 plus, fantastic. Take backsies. I take backsies. They're not trying to get the comments here. They're keeping it on BGG. And you know, 200,000 bucks. Hey, 200,000 bucks. That's awesome. Punch board means dual layer board, right? I don't think they mean dual rolling. That just means it pops out. +1 wanting dual layer player boards added. There's something we've looked into, but because the ancient species asymmetric starting ants printed on the reverse, it won't really work. We'll continue to look at this and see what might be possible. Triple layer, then. That is a thing. That is a thing. I actually have a game on my table right now that is triple layer. It's coming out next month. Vera Hold. It's great to see this campaign ticking along, even though we have entered the doldrums. Agreed. Glad to see folks still joining. It looks like we'll be close to 100 folks joining this campaign today, which is a pretty great for mid-campaign. Holy crap, that's fantastic. 100. Yeah, wow, that is exciting. Good for them. Good for them. What's the most recent update? Now I'm excited. We have 11 days of this fantastic campaign. Oh, so this was the most recent one with the voting. Or no, no, that's not the most recent one. It just looks like the other one. Okay, either way, final grade for this one. Do I want it? Yes, I do. I think you did a pretty good job selling your game. Looks fun. I like the idea of the 4X. And plus, knowing that it's already based on like this other game that people really enjoyed, but it's been streamlined and refined and improved. It's great, yeah. Oh man, they already took a great game and they made it better, which in theory should mean it's fantastic. Can you do it? Yep. Once again, you're reprinting. You have quotes from people like rubbing elbows. You've done other projects. Not worried about that at all. Can you do it? Yes. How much is it? It's a great price. Honestly, the price annoys me because of how I don't feel like it's spotlighted nearly well enough. You know, I feel like, I feel like that's something that, and it feels like, yeah, we're trying to be like respectful because they're like, oh, we don't want this to look like billboards. Yeah, that's what Kickstarter says now. Like, we don't want these to look like billboards, guys. And I've had people pop into the things, or like that are the designers of these projects say that, like, that's exactly what Kickstarter. We do not want this to look like it's a bunch of just jumbled up crap pretty much everywhere. So it's going minimalist. But I feel like, you know, F it. That's a great price. You got a fantastic price. I would shout it. I'd shout a little bit louder. I'd put it up way up higher. Same with the stretch goals. It feels like they're just totally buried all the way down at the bottom. Whereas they're pretty exciting ones as well. But and no rule booklet. That's annoying. I always feel like that's totally inexcusable. Like 100%. Like that just feels like that feels dumb. It just always feels dumb for everybody. Never mind. It's there. Good. So there's no dumbness. Good. And here's why I say dumb. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm not calling them. Look at that. That's how you use the back of your freaking rule booklet. Love it. Fantastic. But no, here's what I'm saying. It's great for anyone who wants to get a really in-depth idea of whether or not the game is going to be for them. And also, they might find mistakes. And it's not going to be most people, but it's still people, some people. And especially if you are one of those terrible Kickstarter creators who never blind play tested your rules, which is, let me tell you, as a Kickstarter reviewer, way too many of them. I can tell you that for a fact. Looking at you, Vera Hode. That being said, the game still is fun. And I have a lengthy video I'm going to shoot and send just to them about, hey, these, okay, we're not getting into that, but the Vera Hode rules you get are going to be better. They're going to be better. Final grade, beating around the bush. Yeah, it's a good one. Solid one. They did it different. Like, I feel like they really were banking on Board Game Geek there, and it seems to have worked, right? Like, and that's the lane. Like, this doesn't necessarily feel like one where you're going to be like, Facebook ads, we got to get the TikTokers on this one. No, this one feels like the BGG crowd kind of game. They went with that lane. It paid off to the tune of $200,000, and it's a great price, right? I feel like they could have spotlighted the game better. I feel like there's other things they could have done better. That main image, I feel like, does kind of suck. And once again, that's not criticizing the main image of their box. I don't think the main image of their box is bad. I just think, show me more. Let me know 1 to 5 players, 60 to 90 minutes at the minimum. 60 to 90 minute 4X game, 1 to 5 players. Boy, howdy, about being an ant. Let me know it's a civilization. Oh, you did. Never mind. That word's there. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a B+. I think B+ is solid. Yeah, B+. Feels really good. March of the Ants, the ultimate ant civilization game. Let me know in the comments below what's your final grade for this one. Also, have you played the original March of the Ants? Let me know in the comments below how amazing it is and also how easy it is to learn. So that will convince me and shame me to make a damn video on it finally. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Also, quick shout out, there will not be a show either next Monday or next Tuesday. Not sure which one it will be. And once again, apologies for this one being labeled as 9:23. If you came in late or you missed it, just that's my bad. Totally missed it. I took my daughter to the mall and then I forgot to mess with things. Old man brain fart. Bye-bye.